Um, and so, detachment as reorientation. When we untether from who we were taught to be, who do we become? So this is where I am in life right now, right? When we untether from who we were taught to be, and remember, this is taught, ingrained, all of these things. When we untether from that, who do we become? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Right, right. I love the conduit. That's exactly right. We become the bodies of work that we're supposed to be, that inspire and contribute to the tapestry, right? And the my work through what I do, again, everything about what I do is interrogative and examinative. It is not about knowing the answers, but it is very much about wanting to know, what is this human experience all about? And how are we supposed to, what is it that allows us to truly experience the full potential of the individuals and the collective? Because this can't be it. This can't be it. Right? I'm like, no. So I've become, and I had to learn that that was what I was doing, that was the work. It wasn't about coming with the answers. It was about, like the old philosophers of old days, like, let's get these brains together and these souls together and let's figure this out. Or maybe not even figure it out, but let's explore it further. Like, let's not be good with status quo, right? So that's really where I am. But when we talk about being a conduit, it is about understanding, and I will again reiterate this garden, when there is no such thing as a plant underperforming or a flower underperforming. If they don't make it, or if they're not up to par, or whatever the case might be, then they don't make it. They're no longer part of the ecosystem, right? If you know what I mean. But they don't decide, oh, I don't feel like really growing today. I'm kind of tired. It's not that kind of thing, right? So when we really understand that, very much like that, when we completely tap into, or attune to that soul's purpose, then we are already making a huge difference in the world, which is what you've alluded to earlier. What new feelings surface when we no longer define ourselves through someone else's need for us? What new feelings surface when we no longer define ourselves through someone else's need for us? Mm-hmm. That's nice. I like that. Rebranding of yourself. I like that a lot. Nice. What about you, Trish? What is that? Ease. Can you elaborate on that? I love it though. I get it. Yeah. Yeah. Right, right. Yeah. No, it's perfect. And one of the words that I haven't used yet in all of this is intention. And that is really what Better Evolve is about. It is about integrating the intention. So there's flow and there's movement just to be moving, right? And then there is our being, but with intention. Okay? Still, no force required. It's just intention. That means that I have to know and understand what it is that I'm doing and why I'm here to do it. And then I move forward with intention. I personally have been navigating quite a bit of time with just beautiful flow, just flow, unrelenting flow. But it's something to come into your purpose and to really understand that. And there's a level of patience and grace that has to come with that, because we have been taught fast track. We have been taught know it now, get it down now, make it by this date. You only got this much time left. But it's something beautiful about saying, my soul is infinite, and knowing that your soul is infinite, that when it separates from this vessel, it still has work to do. It still goes on. It goes on, and I mean, everyone has different beliefs, but there's something beautiful about that. And so for me, there's no rush. there's no rush, right? There's no rush. So let's explore in terms of reorientation, grief, disorientation, emotional withdrawals. These are some of the things that we can feel when we decide to fully tap in. When we go in and say, I'm going to align with this soul's purpose, and I'm going to be, we might feel grief, disorientation, emotional withdrawal. We might experience the urge to retach quickly, especially in relationships, right? The illusion of going back for comfort, right? Because we've convinced ourselves that that comfort is what we need in order to live, in order to survive. The choice to sit in the open space of becoming. That is another thing that we will experience. This choice of sitting in this space. Many of us are not okay with sitting in our stillness, especially to decide that I am choosing to elevate, right? I am choosing this quest. I'm going to share with you this beautiful illustration that one of my virtual mentors has shared, and it's about a penthouse. And she describes this penthouse, and on the first level, everybody's there. Everybody's on this first level. It's crowded, it's noisy, everybody is, it's just yapping, everybody sees the same view right outside that window, okay? Then you go up to the second, third floor, it's a little quieter, a little bit more view. You can see a little bit more out, right? It's not as much noise. You can hear, you got a little bit more clarity. Once you get to the top of the penthouse, super quiet. You can hear your thoughts. Not as many people. But the view is immaculate. There was a freaking ocean out there the whole time. What? There's elephants? Elephants aren't around oceans. But anyway, there's... But we can pretend. I don't know. But, there's a view that was never, ever experienced before. But keep in mind what I told you. It's very few people up there. It's very quiet, right? But the view. So we are talking about compromise and what's important to us and what we are willing to accept and to maintain, right? But this journey of deciding to fully connect and be attuned with your soul's purpose, your soul identity, it is a bit of a compromise. It is a compromise. You will lose some of the crowd. You will have to have less noise. You will have to sit in your stillness more, right? And it's not for everybody. And that's why the work that I do is about resonance. Because I'm not going to chase anybody. I believe that we have to feel that pull. We have to know it's time for us to move in that direction. And that's how we find each other. And that's how we know it's time for us to move. But it's not about, let me evangelize to you. It's not that kind of work.